Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well tonight. I gotta say I'm a little bit riled up because we're kind of living in this environment where people aren't allowed to express their thoughts and opinions, and if someone has a thought or opinion that's not popular or that's contrary to popular belief, they're kind of suppressed and shut down. And I just want to speak out against that because, as most of you probably noticed, like my politics are generally conservative, although I don't feel like I fit into a box. There's things that I feel like more liberal people have right, you know? So I'm not boxed in at all. But all that to say, like, my liberal-minded friends, like, post your stuff, man. I'm like rock on. Like, I'm not going to come on your page and be like, oh, I don't agree with you, like, unfriend. Like, I want you to be free. Hi, David. I want you to have the space to express and be creative and to do everything that you, so, you know, we need to have environments. I can't even talk, I'm so hyped up. We need to have environments of diversity and creativity of expression, and not suppressing our friends or trying to shut them down. Now, if someone says something that you don't agree with, you can have the freedom, of course, to express how you feel. Hey, Rachel. But don't be the kind of person that puts into the atmosphere the agenda that only your viewpoint is allowed. Like, also, you can have a conversation with a friend without it being an argument. Like, you could say something, I could say something else, and we're expressing how we feel. We're contributing to ideas and conversation. Like, the fact that people just get irate and angry because people feel differently. The fact that people block each other because people feel differently. Now, I'm not talking about people that are like mean toward each other and hateful, because I feel like disrespect is sort of a means of blocking. But as far as just like conversations, like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just kind of over it. I'm kind of over family members, like well-intentioned mother characters or grandmother characters or grandfather characters. And I love my parents and my grandparents, but I refuse to live a life that has been confined for me to live. I refuse to say my ethics are exactly the same as my grandmother's ethics. That's just not the reality, you know? And my tea's whistling. Tea time! You know, and even though, like, I'm a Bible-believing woman and I love Jesus, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to interpret things slightly differently and I'm going to have a different life. Like, I'm not going to see the Bible exactly the same way as someone else. And just, I would encourage you, don't be the character that is kind of pushing your ethic, trying to criticize and control your family members, because that's just going to push them away from you. I know you have good intentions. I know you're trying to help. I know you're trying to be loving. But when you come down on your family members, and I saw this the other day, someone was like, hey, Rachel, that's funny. Hey, Morgan. Someone the other day was like, I don't feel like that outfit's appropriate to wear out in public. Okay, that's, you know, so then you don't wear that outfit. But don't go trying to tell other people how to live their lives, and don't say what's morally right for them. I came out of a very conservative Christian background. I love conservative Christians. I love Jesus. I don't feel like I'm totally a conservative Christian nowadays. Like, on some levels, I am very conservative, and on other levels, I'm more liberal. I don't mean liberal politically. I just mean more in terms of liberty. For instance, currently, and it's like I want to feel guilt and shame for having this expression coming up in me right now, but I'm fighting against that, and I'm speaking anyway. I don't know where I stand in terms of cussing, in terms of strong language. You know, I feel, for me personally, and I'm not pushing this on to any of you, but I feel personally that there is a time for a strong language. I'm not talking about using the Lord's name in vain or anything that would go explicitly against the Bible, but I think that there are times where words can be used, and that I'm going to choose to use them in my life. Now that's difficult because many people in my circles don't agree with that ethic, and so I don't want to offend people in my circles that are more conservative, that I love and I care about, but at the same time, like, I'm not them, I'm me, and I have to live my life the way I choose to live it. So far, what I've been doing to kind of balance that is I've been putting like disclaimer, this video includes strong language or something to kind of forewarn my friends who maybe trust me or something, but like, I'm still like nice Kendall, where I'm like polite and I'm friendly and all these things, but like I have a side of me that's like off the chain, and I want to just like rage out against things, and it's not all polite and happy and pretty and beautiful. It's beautiful, but in a raw, dark, deep, honest sort of sense, and that's a real side of me that I refuse to suppress, and that's gonna not be okay with some people. That's not going to be, you know, acceptable for some people, and I love you anyway, you know, even if people can't accept that aspect of me. Like, people are complex, people aren't one level, people are diverse, and you know, I'm not gonna live on a pedestal. I'm not gonna carry on my shoulders the weight and the burden and the obligation to say that I have to be this reputation, or I have to be this standard. I have to, like, people are watching me, like, look, you're causing them to stumble. Like, that's not really my burden to bear. Like, each person makes their own choices. Each person hopefully can discern things and pray about things and choose for themselves their own set of morals and the way that they're going to interpret the world or the Bible or whatever they have. And I don't know, I kind of like that I represent a non-boxed in sort of Christian, or a non-boxed in sort of woman, or a non-boxed in artist, or a non-boxed in Republican, or a non-boxed in Trump voter, or a non-boxed in, you know, cornrow wearer, or a non-boxed in hip-hop, not hip-hop singer, not hip-hop writer, but, you know, a rap artist. Like, all of the things I embody, I like that it's like, oh, we didn't think that. Like, so then don't box me in and don't limit me, because that's not going to happen. Like, I'm going to keep you guessing, and I'm not doing it to keep you guessing. I'm doing it because I'm doing me, and I want you to do you. I want you to follow that authentic expression inside of yourself. I hate the feeling when that thing is rising up inside of me and I try to squash it down and I try to squish it down, because I'm so afraid of what you're going to think of me. I'm so afraid of the reactions and the potential negative responses of others that that I shut down what's coming up inside of me. And you know, that thing coming up inside of me, it may not be perfect. Listen, like, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Like, we're just trying to live our lives. And I, for one, am trying to live my life in the most authentic, honest way that I can. And that means sometimes not wearing makeup and showing you my little, you know, red eye circles, or my little pimples, or, you know what I mean? Like, that means talking about my problems, because it's like, people whine all the time, like, oh, nothing's real on Facebook. Like, people just show you the best of their lives. Okay, on one hand. And on the other hand, if you do complain or talk about something negative, then people label you a Debbie Downer and they don't want to be around you. And so it's like, well, either way, and that people will complain and people won't like it. So that's what I'm really realizing, is that you really can't please everyone. Whether I live true to who I am, or I try to be so considerate. Well, no, she won't like that, or I should do this. I'm trying to balance everything. And there's people still not going to be pleased. So if people are going to be displeased and pleased either way, then why am I living my life trying so hard to appease other people? Like, might as well, if the results are going to be equivocal, why not just live without the strain, without the suppression, without the obligation, the shame, the fear? I'm trying something new, and I encourage you guys to do the same. I encourage you to be people that support one another and that allow other people the space to grow and to evolve, Because people should be growing and should be evolving. So if someone isn't the same person that you remembered them as, good for them. That means that they're living their life and they're expanding and they're opening themselves to new experiences. Hope and freedom.